Alright, so we got two sanders here, the Makita and the DeWALT 18 volt orbital sanders. The DeWALT's a 20 volt, Makita 18 volt, and we're gonna put them to the test on this board that's just been rough cut down a table saw and is pretty rough, consistent the entire way. It has a groove, pretty deep groove, about a 30-second date.
Okay, and we're gonna put, how many seconds? 20 seconds?
20 seconds on the timer.
Okay, okay, just a moment. Go. Okay, was the speed all the way up on
It is all the way up.
it? Okay. Okay, we already tried the Makita, and we'll go back and actually evaluate its success or performance. All right, here we go with the DeWALT. Go! I'm not sure if it's the way he was holding it on a edge, but the DeWALT has a bunch more dust over here beside of it.
Now, one thing I've already noticed, I've already emptied out the Makita bag once or twice, and we've been running both sanders the same amount of time. The DeWALT bag is not even filled up a quarter of the way. So I really don't think the DeWALT has as good a dust collection on it.
You want to do it one more time? Maybe we should do it again to see if we get the same results. And let's hold make sure we hold them completely flat.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna do it different. Lift up that sander, same piece of sandpaper. We got Makita right here, DeWALT, and he's going to hold it right flat. And we'll look at how much sawdust or what have you is there, and then we'll compare the finishes. I've upped it to 30 seconds this time. Go! Okay, so let me try to get in there, because actually I had not noticed this before. A little bit of sawdust right here, none over here. Okay, you know what, let's blow it off, that way. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Hold on here. Go! That. Wow. So, all right, guys, I just had to adjust the volume on this. You're seeing it right there. All right, you guys know we're huge DeWALT fans. At least I'd say we both are.
Speaking of DeWALT fans, you need to go back and watch our DeWALT fan video.
Yes, I think we might possibly have the best DeWALT fan video out there. All right, this is Darren with Confident Home Solutions, licensed general contractor, builder, remodeler in North Carolina, and this is Harley. All right, so you just saw we sanded that. Started right off by showing that. Now, we've had this for how long? This 18 volt Makita?
2.5 years.
Yeah, maybe 2.5 years, and it is I can't. I'm just looking for the model number. Sometimes they put it in a weird area.
XOB01.
Yeah, there we go. XOB01.
It's a 5-inch.
B01. And what's the DeWALT? DCW210. All right, so you guys know we're huge fans of the 20 volt. Actually, both these lines. We own both of them across their platforms. We had this here, I don't think DeWALT had one out at the time. They brought theirs out first. And I will say we've switched because, well, I don't want to give a conclusion yet, but I will say that we had both these in the corded version. And the DeWALT was clear winner.
Yeah.
I mean, not even close. And arguably, the corded DeWALT is possibly the best sander out there. I mean, they're a phenomenal sander, smooth, but it's got that lousy cord hook to it. So, you know, we've only had this for what, a week?
Yep.
And so we're still drawing conclusions on it. We think it possibly might sand a little bit quicker, but do we have any evidence of that?
No.
Just that short amount of time right there, you can clearly see that the dust the dust removal is quite a bit better in the Makita. What else? And I'm going to leave my biggest thing towards the end. Ergonomics. Let me see. The DeWALT's lower. So one of the things that always bothered me about the Makita is its height. You know, anytime when I think of a palm sander, I'm thinking of something low. You know, like a 3M or some of your high-end air palm sanders, something low right to the sheet metal or what have you. And this is up there. You do get used to it. Go ahead.
However, you can hold it this way, or the way that I hold it most of the time is this front grip right here, and then it takes the place of a palm sander, with it being so low. Want to restart that?
Nope. Nope.
So, hold it just like that, back and forth. The DeWALT you can't do that with. It digs into your hand or however. The DeWALT you can hold this way, backwards. You can hold that way. The Makita you can hold backwards, frontwards, any way you want to hold it.
So, when you're holding this in store, you actually have no idea how this DeWALT feels until you put a battery in. This thing feels so phenomenal.
Right there.
Phenomenal, yes, right now. It's just like, how can they improve on it?
It feels good. No battery.
And then you put a battery on it, and we were both really surprised. It does feel like it wants to wheelie a lot. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
So it's very back end heavy. Now, I guess you could put a 2 amp, but I know why Harley did that. He matched them up, it's 5 amp to 5 amp. So that
Fair
way,
conclusion.
yeah.
Yep.
This right here, this is hard, so you're gonna have a hard dust port or whatever sticking out to the one side.
And I'm not always sure because most of the time these orbital sanders get set on the floor and I could see somebody stepping on that and breaking it off. The Makita, it's all rubber. I mean, this thing falls off all the time anyways. This bag does. We can't keep it on.
It does fall off.
It falls off, but
that's negative. This is never going to fall off.
that's never going to fall off, but that could break and you have to pay to replace it or glue it back on somehow.
So, what we were thinking about is we're on the job right now. We have quite a few corded sanders, so when we do need additional sanders and we're in a shop area, we'll just grab one of them. In this area, we're up on the scaffolding and we needed a sander out there. We needed a sander in another area. And so we went and grabbed this right here, thinking we were going back to the corded DeWALT, thinking how outstanding it was. And I don't want to push this one way because this is actually a pretty good sander. I think it is. It's just, I think the Makita may be outdoing it as far as
This
tool.
sander's good with a 2-amp battery. It's small,
Yeah.
compact. It just always wants to do a wheelie.
What do you think? What do you think of the switch here? That was not put on. That got me. I've had a little bit of difficulty turning it on and off.
Actually, in the test that we just did right here, you could see I had a couple difficulties getting it turned off because it's like right there at that where your finger slides past. The Makita, it takes a little bit getting used to. It's just the 1, 2, 3 button right here. You just do. So it's just a tap on, and that's electric, isn't it? Versus this is actually a switch.
Yeah, so arguably this could be a better long term.
More reliable.
But oh, hey,
We've had that for a while.
speaking of that, something super impressive. Check that breakout.
Yeah.
He pointed that out.
That may wear out over time, but
I don't know. That's
pretty cool.
I was digging that.
'Cause the main thing with orbital sanders is you
This-
gotta wait a long time.
That's me. I drop it.
Yeah.
This one right here. It's done.
Yeah.
All right. So. You know. Okay. So one of the biggest reasons why I think we're going to buy another Makita, and I'll have this discussion after we shut the video off with him, but one of the things that really bothers me, I got to tell you, is the footprint.
Yeah.
So for me, I can put 2 of these in a bag like this and like this, almost for the same area that this one's taken up. Now, I guess that does compress, or you could take that off and put it somewhere. But we're always going to have multiple sanders in the van. So that's what I'm thinking about is, hey, I could put 2 of these Makitas like right up beside each other. I can't do that with this a DeWALT. Now, if you were on a like a bench right here in a shop, atmosphere or work area, that would be a great tool, this DeWALT. If you have the real estate.
As far as I've been thinking about using the DeWALT for the past week, I've actually like the Makita design, how the battery comes in like this.
Yeah.
The DeWALT, you kind of got to lean down, you got to pull it out. The Makita, a lot of times I just walk up to it straight out.
I already noticed that.
I pick it up, and it's right in and out. So
Okay, so it has the battery. The Makita's outperformed. I already noticed that this is awkward to take batteries out.
it is. You have to grab.
Because the
them
sander,
inside.
as I'm trying to pull sideways, the sander's wanting to spin. All right, another area that the DeWALT excels is the speed. Check this out. Right
That-
there.
Hold on, that is actually a disadvantage. In
I think it's an advantage. Let's hear what he has
Me
to
being
say.
a lefty, my index finger sets right there, and going back to our corded model, I would start on setting 7, and at the end of the day, I'd be on setting 1, and it just my finger always vibrates. And with the Makita, my finger actually goes over top. You see there's a gap right there. My finger goes over top of the speed setting, and I rarely ever hit it. This, my finger seems to ride on it, and over time it slowly dials out. And I look at it and I'm like, that thing sounds weird. I'm like, oh, it's not on 7, it's on 1.
Okay, so this one right here, 'cause since I run the Makita router, and it has similar
Same thing,
setup, yeah, it does slow me up a little bit. I could see him getting used to this, and I guess we differ on that. I actually prefer this, not the on and off switch. I mean, it feels awkward to me. The speed adjustment, yes.
One thing I'd like to see Makita incorporate in the future is actually that brake. That would be nice.
I wish it could be a little lower,
Yeah, they could be lower.
but I don't know what they do with their battery.
Right. Maybe
Because the
that's the
batteries
reason.
already-
That's probably the reason DeWALT did theirs that way. But then again, you
Yep,
know,
yep.
I use it that way a lot. So.
Yep. I think we'll probably buy another Makita.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really hate it because DeWALT has a service center right close to us. And immediately you guys are going to be like, oh, you're already finding, you know, where your service shop is. Hey, I don't care what brand you own,
Yeah.
whether it's Festool, Milwaukee, Makita, DeWALT. If you use your tools, they're all going to have some issues. So we don't have anything around us concerning Makita. I would guess it's a full inch shorter. But look at the real estate that the DeWALT burns up right there. So, you know, either way, rip those edges down. So final conclusions.
Makita. This feels pretty good right here, though. It feels good. I would say probably the deal breaker is how this bag sticks out.
Yeah.
It seems like, in my mind, they should have took the bag. Since the battery comes out this way, take the bag and put it back here.
I don't know what they should have did.
I don't know.
I don't like the bag there,
The bag needs to be somewhere else.
and I don't. This.
And I think Milwaukee's the same way. There comes out the side, which in theory, the way that the dust circulates, their thinking is to throw the dust into the bag. But for some reason, the Makita, which this is the dust port right here, for some reason it just takes more dust.
All right, so this will be the number one deciding factor for me. Is I came out to him a day or 2 days ago, and I said, hey. I said, I already made my mind up. And he was pretty much, he's like, how is that possible? How can you already? And that was when I found out, you know, the footprint of them. I was like, you know, we have to limit
Same thing I'm getting
what goes into our vehicle. And other than that, if this was being just not having to be stored, or maybe you're one of those guys that pulls a 24-foot enclosed trailer
There's those
around.
guys out there, semi-trailer.
There, we don't do that any longer. We're not going to do that in the future either. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it. Hey, it's hot out here. We actually need to get back to work. So,
Work time.
yeah, we're actually doing this on our lunchtime. So, all right. Once again, if you like this, hit that subscribe button, notification, and bring in honest, truthful, non-paid for reviews here. We bought these out of our own pocket. So